I'm Javed. I'm currently an iOS developer and I'm trying to upskill myself to learn the full stack and also learn like complete pipeline how a software how API request travels from the front end to the back end. So basically, I want to learn everything in the software engineering, and this series is about how I'm learning the front end technologies. So this is the first day. So today I have figured out what should be the roadmap. Okay, so like in the iOS development we have one technology, right? We have one tech stack, that is Swift. But if you take the front end, there are plenty of technologies which we need to parallelly learn. How I am starting and how I am learning different technologies in a sequence. For example, if you take I thought of learning React first, okay, as that is like a pretty industry standard. But coming from a background, mobile development background, I don't know anything about the web development, right? So to make myself familiar, I shouldn't be taking up React as my first language. Okay, so what I'm doing now is first I'll be learning HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, pretty straightforward, pretty basic. I think that gives me an idea of how the bare bones or skeletons are connected together, or like how the website is developed, right? Okay, to start with, I'll be learning HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This helps me to like build that solid foundation of JavaScript as well as HTML, CSS. I'll also understand like how these are connecting with each other and how it is being rendered on the website. Okay, so this is going to be my first step. Next, as soon as I get a good familiarity with HTML, CSS and JavaScript, I'll be I'll be learning React as like a basic crash course. Okay, I won't be getting really deep into that one. I'll be like looking into React. Maybe there are some good tutorials available on the YouTube which will teach me React in a very short time. That gives me an idea of how the structure of React is in like overall perspective. That way I'll get to know that how the website is being rendered in the React and what is the syntax, how things are connected, how the functionalities are connected. As soon as I'm done with that one, I will be picking up TypeScript. Okay, parallelly I'll be picking up TypeScript and get a familiarity with that. I found a really good tutorial on YouTube which is like 4 hours long. Yeah, which is like 4 hours long, and it teaches me TypeScript in a like really good way. So I'll use that one to learn the TypeScript. So that way I'll get a good foundation of a TypeScript and the React, since I already have the JavaScript, HTML, CSS idea. So this won't be taking that much of time for me. Since I have learned React in a very short time, I won't be knowing all the concepts, right? So to compensate that, to fill that gap, now since I know the TypeScript, since I know the React, I will be taking a Udemy course where I'll be like deep diving into React. So once I get a familiarity with the React properly, like I know in and out of everything about the React, it's very difficult to learn everything, but I'll get a fairly pretty good knowledge, because since I come from a software engineering background, I know what to learn, I know what to look for. So it won't be a great difficult for me. Okay, it won't be a big deal for me. After the React, the one thing which I have been seeing a lot is the nextjs. Okay, I was not aware of this one, but it's some kind of a full stack framework which will be helping me to build the full stack application, which is basically built on top of the node. This is how I'm going to structure the roadmap. First, we will be learning the HTML, CSS and JavaScript to get the basic solid foundation, okay, to understand how everything is stitched together. As soon as that is done, I'll be taking a crash course on the React to get a familiarity with the syntax and the whole file structure. With that knowledge, I'll be learning the TypeScript. The problem with learning TypeScript early is that it gets very confusing if I take TypeScript at the early stage. Okay, it's better to take the React, get a familiarity with the syntax and all the concepts, at least the basic concepts. Then taking the TypeScript makes more sense, right? Once I get a good familiarity with the React and the TypeScript, I will deep dive into React to understand more complex concepts. Since I have the complete knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, TypeScript, it is a good idea to like at least explore one backend framework. I'll learn the Next.js, or I might go to the Node.js internal concepts. So I'm not sure how that is going to proceed, but for now I'm thinking to learn Next.js. So this is the day one. This is what I have figured out, that how I should be learning front-end technologies in 2026. Okay, so why I'm making this video? Basically, I want to like share how I am learning things, and I want to also give you an idea of okay, so this video is not some kind of tutorial or something. Definitely I'm gonna be sharing a lot of things, how I'm learning, what all the concepts are there. I'll try to explain those concepts also, but that's mostly for me to teach, for me to explain it properly. Okay, that's the concept. It's not like I'll be teaching you something. It's more like I'll be sharing and telling you, what I'm learning. That might help you to understand how to proceed further in your development journey also. Look, you need to understand that I have a 10 plus years of fairly good experience in software engineering, and it won't take much time for me to learn the new concepts in software engineering. So I'll be moving at my own pace. But what I'll also be doing is I'll also share an alternate path where a junior developer or a college student can also learn with the resources which I am using. I might take some paid courses to learn things, but I'll try to find a free resources or an alternate version of that, which you can definitely start looking into it, mostly from the YouTube or from other blogs. So that way I'll be sharing the resources also. In the description I'll going to share the tutorials. There are two versions probably. One is if you're a software engineer, if you have a good understanding of coding, then there is one path which is like basically a faster path. Okay, you can finish things a little bit faster. That path considers you as a person who knows the basics of coding. And then the second path is like for a student or some junior engineer who don't know anything about coding or don't know too much in-depth concept. That roadmap will teach you things more in-depth, like every concept will be explained properly. So that way we will have two different paths. One is for a senior, one is for the junior. So I'll share those resources in the description. See if that might help you. Okay, and I'm super excited to learn this technology. This is going to be a fresh start for me to see how the web apps works, how the pipeline works, how from back end to the front end things travel. Like it's going to be a really fun and a good upskill for my career. So I'm super excited to learn something in the era of AI, because I come from an era where Stack Overflow was a thing. Okay, in the next video, what I'll be sharing is like a small quiz app that helps me to understand how the structure of the folder and the syntax is going to be laid down. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.